Hello, this is Sim Racing Corner. Today I have a couple of items sent to me by NOX3D, and the first thing I want to show you, this is their Logitech pedal shock absorber. That's the title of it, and I think possibly not the best way to title it, as it is a tensioner basically for the brake pedal on the Logitech pedal, so G25 pedals upwards. You add this into the brake pedal, so you need to obviously dismantle it, get in there, put this in between the springs, so you keep the same spring, the metal spring, and this adds an additional amount of tension to the brake pedal, right? It's printed in TPU, and just an example of TPU would be something like my mobile phone cover. You can see it's flexible but pretty hard wearing, stiff there, so it doesn't stretch but it is flexible. And this feels pretty tough, but there is a little bit of give. I can feel it, but you're not going to be able to see it on camera because it's very, very slight. And you can see that's the reason for that dimpled top of the, dimpled section at the top. As you press down on that, there'll be a little bit of flex there, but overall it's going to really increase that brake pedal resistance. So you need to make sure your pedals are very well solidly mounted, because this is going to be really, really tough to push past. So yeah, interesting. We'll check this out in a review in the future. Not sure when, as my main interest, to be honest, is my priority is this thing, or these two things. And this is their brake pedal spring upgrade for the Thrustmaster load cell pedals. It's called the Ultimate Rubber Mod Upgrade. And again, this is printed in TPU, but you can see because it's less of a bulky material, there is more flex there, and you can just see that there. Right, so in the Thrustmaster pedals, and if you have those pedals, you know what I'm talking about. I don't really need to tell you too much about this, really. But you get a couple of springs. You get a few springs in the kit, and you mix and match it. In between here is a lighter spring, which is a preload when it's set up, so it's a bit softer there, and then you squeeze down on there, right? In my drive and talk video from a few days ago, which I'll put a link in the description so you can check that out, I talk about the load cell pedals, about those Thrustmaster load cell pedals, and and one of the things I really focus on is that feeling of the brake pedal. And with these springs, right now I have the actual red springs installed, so yeah, you get basically 5 springs, and so I'm missing 2 here since they are installed on the pedals right now, and I'm using the strongest springs, the 2 red ones. And as much as I like the resistance from the brake pedal, it's not progressive, it's fairly linear. And what I mean by that is when you compress the spring, it feels like when you're pushing on the brake, the beginning of the throw to the end of the throw, when you engage, basically, when it hits a hard stop on the pedal, on that pedal, there's not a lot of kind of build up of tension. It feels fairly linear. There is a little bit, and I'll just show you here, because if I squeeze that, I can't actually fully compress it. It's actually quite tight at that point there. But if I use 2 hands, it's fairly comfortable. But it doesn't feel particularly progressive. And when it's under your leg, under your foot, you need something with a higher resistance to be able to feel that. So, and you don't really notice it. There's a tiny bit, but it's pretty hard to really to feel, even with the red ones. And that's the reason for this type of modification, to replace the 2 springs. In fact, you can actually use 1 or 2, so you can use it in combination with one of them, and this way you'll have the original spring, whatever you want, and then use this. Or you replace both the springs, still retaining, because you can see they don't match together like that. You still use the preload section in the middle to separate it, and then it'll be like that. And the idea of that is using 2 together is going to increase the tension, and hopefully progressive tension, and that will hopefully means when I'm pushing on the pedal, I feel as I'm applying more braking force, the pedal becomes more stiff, and then I'm going to get a better feel for knowing how much application of brake I need for how much braking will be applied in the game. And that's the idea of this. It's going to give me hopefully a more progressive feel, but we'll see. I'll just show you that you can see there's some black bits in there, and those are just basically a couple of these kind of plasticky off-the-shelf grommet type things. That's there to maintain the integrity of the structure. As you can see, it is like a frame. Yeah, so I guess my first impression here, obviously, is not on the pedals, and you're not going to see them on the pedals right now since they are kind of all mounted to the sim rig in the corner of the room. But if you just see it squeezing down there, you can see it is compressing, and you can see those cutouts there sort of working. So it's basically a different type of spring, and hopefully it will give me a greater feeling, very much like my Heusinkveld Pro pedals. Again, this is something I talked about in my drive and talk, so it's an interesting video as it gives you I do talk about the kind of difference in feel. And as much as I like the Thrustmaster pedals that I've been using for a few weeks, and they're doing a great job, they will be reviewed in their own proper slick edited video at some point in the future, and I need to get that video out first before I actually install these and test this out. So this is merely just a first look at them, guys. You can just have a look at them, just see what they are, get an idea of scale to the original springs and their function. So yeah, so if you want a really strong kind of F1 style stiffness to the pedal, use two together. If you want it to be a bit softer but still with some extra progressive feel, then you can use one of the Thrustmaster springs and then whack this together with that, and you'll have just basically a bit of both. So you may find that's going to work better for you, where you increase the stiffness but it's not overly, overly strong, or if you want it really strong, you want that. So quite interesting. Hard to know when I'm just squeezing it in my hand whether or not it's going to, how much of a difference it will make, but clearly when I'm just compressing it, I can feel it is offering a nice amount of stiffness, and it is, as I'm squeezing down on it, it's getting stiffer and stiffer and stiffer. That's what I'm after. So hopefully when it's under my foot on the pedal, it's going to reflect that type of feeling I'm after. But yeah, very interesting, guys. So yeah, this isn't a test, guys. This is just really showing you what they are, just so you get an idea, what they look like. If you are interested in this product, I'm not sure how many videos are there out there on this right now, which is why I like showing you these sort of little kind of gizmos, really, because few channels show these sort of like little mods with much detail, and that's what I like to do. So in the review, we will look at it. I'll film from the back of the pedals as well, so you can just see how they compress when I'm pressing on them. Yeah, very interesting. So yeah, looking forward to trying these out, but it won't be for a little while, as I do need to get my Thrustmaster load cell pedal review finished and uploaded, and get that out the door before I try to mess around with these different mods. But yeah, very nice. So again, thank you to NOX3D for sending me these items to check out, and yeah, one final look. So yeah, stay tuned, because these will be in future videos and they will be reviewed. So yeah, hope you like what you see. If you have any of these items, do drop comments below the video. It's always good to get feedback. Maybe you like them, maybe you don't. I don't mind. Just let me know what you think. That's the main thing, guys. So anyway, guys, I'll be back soon with something new. So until next time, happy simming and bye-bye.